you also talked about helping mothers connect with their baby through breastfeeding, right? You do that as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
So, can you first give out some good information on the benefits of breastfeeding before I go to the next question?
Yeah. So the benefits of breastfeeding, it pretty much protects your baby. Um, it helps decrease their chances of being easily infected, or it decreases their chances of getting sick. And not to, say that babies who don't breastfeed doesn't mature or doesn't develop quicker, but it just seems like, in study shows, like when you're bonding and breastfeeding with your baby, that really helps with the developmental stages. It really, the nutrients and everything, it's just like that moment of, I honestly, I can't even describe it. It's just like that joy. And I'll tell you, it's
I,
just so much great things.
yeah, I know
I have
like
a whole list of things we can go through.
oh, we can go through them, but I know like you said it, but just in different words. Like one of the benefits of like breastfeeding is the baby is able to get the mother's immune system, so it doesn't have to go through like all the like playing in the dirt and like all of this other stuff to build its own. The mother
Yeah,
automatically gives the baby hers, so the baby's immune to a whole array of things initially off jump. So that keeps the
yeah,
baby from getting like sick. Cause you know, like when you sometimes like me working in the pharmacy, it's certain people that come in regularly because their baby is always getting some type of infection. And
yes,
you can always tell when someone breastfeeds because you're like, oh, you got a very strong, um, energetic little child. Is because
yes.
he gets the mother's immune system and all everything good from her. He's getting it through, like you said, we call it the golden
From the
milk.
mom, yeah. And
Uh,
the perfect thing about breastfeeding is you don't overfeed your child. So they're not going to be like, oh, your baby is overweight, you're giving them too much formula. Whereas, you give a baby formula in the bottle, sometimes the baby can just keep sucking, and then mom will feel like, no, that ain't enough. Let me fix him another, he or she another bottle, when you shouldn't be doing that. I support everybody's choices. If you want to put your baby on formula, that's fine. But when you're breastfeeding, it kind of helps with, to protect you from overfeeding your baby. The
yeah,
baby knows when he's full, he or she is full. They know when to stop. And I mean, it's easier. You can lay in bed and feed the baby, and both of y'all can sleep and do whatever. So I just feel like that's a lot easier. Everybody should do it, but hey, I respect whoever choices, whatever. It's fine.
and it is simple, easy ways out there for mothers who probably feel uncomfortable breastfeeding in public, anything like that, because they got like machines where you can
Yeah.
pump um, at home and then just give your baby the milk in the
Yeah.
bottle.
Of course. Yes. I know a lot of people who, they aren't ashamed of breastfeeding. I have a homegirl, she'll pull it out wherever. And she's like, look, my baby got to eat. I'm doing this. And it's fine. But then you have those who, they don't want to be exposed. They don't want to share all of that. So they will go somewhere and pump. And that's why I feel like more facilities, although they're trying to make it seem like they're offering rooms for moms to breastfeed, I just feel like that should be everywhere, no matter what type of place of business it is, because breastfeeding is just normal. They should just normalize that. A mom shouldn't have to feel scared or ashamed that she needs to pull her breast out. And I'm not saying just pop it out in front of everybody and be like, here it goes. But she can
It's a
cover up
normal
if
thing.
she's sitting here. Yeah, let her do it. Let her feed her baby. I feel like if it was more, if America would normalize breastfeeding, then it would be easier for moms to want to have breastfeeding as a choice, like for their first option.
I do know some businesses, like if you are a new mother and you breastfeed, like they give you some time during your shift to go pump. Yeah.
What is it?
Some of these companies, you know what I mean? You got to ask for it because, like, a lot of
Okay.
employers, they know it, but they want to
Yeah.
be so productive, like have the job being so productive that they're not going to, like, hey, you know, you're breastfeeding, you got a 15 minutes to go pump. Would you like to take it?
Yeah.
They probably just feel like, hey, if you don't know it, you don't know it. So that is one thing out there. If anybody's listening, if you are breastfeeding or considering it, to like go to your employer and be like, hey, so when I come back, do you give me enough time to go pump so I can have milk for my baby? And I
I
need a
love that.
refrigerator to store it too. Like,
And well, see, and that's where I was getting to. Okay, yeah, they'll tell you. I get what you're saying. And I've worked at a few doctors' offices where some did, some didn't, until like recent years where they're like, oh, this is serious. Because women, they still have to come to work, but they still have to pump too. But at the same time, when they're pumping, I've seen when I worked at, I'm not gonna say the name, but when I worked at a certain place, the manager will leave the office for the staff to go in and pump. Or if it's a doctor that's pumping, I had a doctor who she was serious about her pumping. She was not playing. She just kicked all the doctors out the doctor's area and she pumped in there. But it still made her feel rushed because she's like, what if I leave something? And she's like the only female doctor here, and you're around a bunch of men. No shade to guys, but like they see that they don't want to see it in the workplace. They're like, oh yes, I'm a doctor, I know what it is, but at the same time, it's that feeling you get like, oh, I need to move because she needs to breast pump her milk again or do whatever. But then after she does that, where's she gonna put it? Then
yeah,
you see her pulling in a big old cooler because they don't have a fridge designated for it. So it makes it hard. Everybody can't afford a nice cooler like that.
yeah.
So we wasting milk.